And hello everybody, welcome back to the video. Today we are back inside of Minecraft and we are going to be playing Rainbow Stripes by Tommycreeper. We played some of Tommycreeper's maps before. As a matter of fact, I've probably played most of them. But yeah, let's go. I feel like that's a pretty common story though. He made Parkour Stripes, and now we're playing Parkour Rainbow, or Parkour Stripes Colors, not Rainbow. But yeah. I have a feeling, I'm pretty sure the last one was pretty easy, if I remember correctly, so I doubt this will be too difficult. I mean, already just looking at the density of gold blocks on this, and considering the fact that gold blocks are checkpoints, means that this probably is going to be on the easier side, if I had to guess. I'm a little sad that it doesn't just kill you instantly when you fall. I feel like that would make life a little bit easier, but, you know. Potato, potato. Also, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure how easy it is to set up stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it's fairly easy, though. Like, I think it's just, like, you have to set a region or something, and then set it to /kill if anybody enters the region, or something like that. I think that's how those generally work. Gonna be honest, I'm not sure. I've never actually set up anything command block wise besides just like /summon Ender Dragon and put it on repeat to, you know, for the laughs or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much the most complicated command block stuff I ever do. Like, I can do a decent amount with commands. Like, I can, you know, at least run stuff like /set. Alright, but I'm no map creator, that's for sure. Like, I have just enough that sometimes when I'm playing a map and, like, something doesn't work, I have an idea on how you could fix it, but I most of the time don't know the actual answer. That is one thing that would make me curious, though. I would be interested to see, like, if I could set up stuff like that for a map. If I ever wanted to set up a map. I don't know. It's possible. But that's besides the point. Parkour is more important. So far, I mean, like, it's a little bland, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the whole just making all of the stripes the same color makes it a little bland. I feel like the jumps have been a good balance of not too far, where it's super difficult, but not too close, where it's super easy. And maybe that's just me having, you know, not played enough parkour recently. So as a result, I'm rusty. It's always possible. I never want to jump too fast to the conclusion that it's, you know, on the map when I haven't even really played that much Minecraft recently. Well, actually, no. I've played a lot of Minecraft recently. When I haven't played that much parkour recently. Which is kind of sad because I do enjoy some good parkour. Also, face cam for parkour. Now that I think about it, this is my first parkour video having face cam on, and I know that a lot of people that watch my parkour videos do not watch my survival videos, so it might be, you know, news to people that, yeah, face cam now, that's a thing. Very exciting. I still don't totally know how to feel about it. It still weirds me out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not, you know, most confident person in the world on my appearances or whatnot, but yeah, nah, like, I don't mind it. As I mentioned before, I've gotten kind of used to it on streams, so it's not too weird to be doing it on a recording. It's practically the same thing. Like, there's a little bit the first time you do it that's kind of like, it feels kind of weird to do, but once you get over that, it's perfectly fine. I am interested to see my survival videos that I've had face cam on for have had great average watch time. So I'm really curious to see how it'll do for a parkour video. It's one of the things I'm actually most excited to see, because out of my stats for parkour videos, I guess the one thing that really could stand to improve is average watch time for a lot of them. So, you know, if it improves average watch time, let's go, Pog. But yeah, I don't know. I hope that it actually improves the content and isn't just like a, oh hey, everybody else does face cam, so I'm gonna do face cam sort of deal. There's a slime block there, but that seems like it's likely irrelevant to me. Seems like I just kind of need to make the jump there, which isn't gonna be super easy. Like, it's interesting because a lot of times when I play maps that have all of these like really tall, you know, like towering buildings and stuff, most of the time the jumps are pretty easy. And this is one of the few maps I've played that actually has some decently difficult jumps to back it up. But because of the way it's set up, it doesn't feel like you're doing 4-block jumps, even though you are, which is always a little trippy. So yeah, like it doesn't really feel like I've been doing any 4-block jumps, even though there's been plenty of 4-block jumps mixed in to the parkour. I appreciate stuff like with these honey blocks too, where it's like, oh, yeah, they're honey block jumps, so we're gonna make the jumps a little easier to compensate for the fact that, hey, they're a more difficult kind of jump. And granted, I haven't struggled with them super much, a whole lot yet, but still, it is a more difficult kind of jump because you have to go off of the edge of the block. So to build up momentum, it's more difficult to get it. That's another thing I want to work on. Is, oh, I need it on top of here, not on bottom. That stinks. I want to start trying to decrease the amount of likes and ums and stuff like that that I say throughout commentating. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm a lot better about it than I used to be. Like, whenever I go back and watch any of my old content, it's really bad. Like, I am a better, I don't know if the right term would be public speaker than I used to be, but I'm a lot better at talking, I guess, than I used to be. It's just, I still have a long way to go before there's any real competence. And it's just something I want to start being mindful again of. Which might lead to a couple spots that it's like, oh, I'm quiet for a second because I can't think of anything to say, and I'm not just saying to make up for the void in me talking. But I think that if I get to a point where, I can get past that, I think I can get to a point where I'm able to talk pretty adeptly for long periods of time. And I think just in general, it's probably good for my like thinking speed to be forced into positions like that where I need to think fast, but not necessarily just say whatever random nonsense comes to mind and still filter it to a degree. So yeah, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how I do at it, and I don't think I've said but or really at all through that entire monologue there, so already looking good. I mean, I said a lot of like so's and stuff like that, but you gotta take it a step at a time, right? There's only so much I can do in a couple minutes. But even stuff like that where it's like what I said would probably have been more clear if I had just said in a couple minutes compared to, I feel like I put a filler somewhere. One sec. I'm getting distracted with the parkour. This is also part of the problem, is like it requires me to multitask. I have to think and consciously watch what I'm saying to avoid putting in fillers and stuff like that, while at the same time competently play parkour. And I did a pretty good job of it on my couple commentary videos I've done. However, I feel like that has more to do with the fact that I wasn't really focusing on the parkour at all. Like, my parkour was still alright on it, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. because I was focusing much more on my commentary for those than I was on my parkour. Whereas in a typical parkour video that's based on the map, not whatever I'm talking about, I feel like it makes so much more sense to focus on the parkour a bit over commentary. And maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. Maybe I should be focusing commentary first, let my parkour struggle a bit, and just accept that my commentary is going to be a little worse for some of them, but it won't be too bad. That's the same checkpoint I had last time. I think I can jump back to up here. Yeah, there we go. And then we're reaching in. My phone just fell out of my pocket. I'm going to have to grab that in a second. Not super worried about it right now, though. Level 4 green. Not gonna lie, for the last level, I just don't in general like honey blocks very much. They're just not my favorite. So, from that standpoint, I don't really like levels that incorporate honey blocks. I feel like all of the mechanics for honey blocks are a little bit wonky, to say the least. But they work, and they add another element to parkour, which a lot of map creators like to add in. I just think it's something that works better in moderation. If you put in a honey block jump, like 3 honey block jumps in a map, it works a lot better than having an entire segment that's just filled with honey blocks. But it's such a unique form of parkour that still, for the most part, keeps the basis of normal parkour in what you're doing. So map creators, I think, like to put them in just because it gives them a bit more variation in their map without feeling like they're putting in something that, is it really parkour, or is it, you know, something a little bit different or whatnot. I don't know. Also, I've been thinking, I kind of want to try my hand at puzzle maps again. Like, I get they don't do as well view-wise. I'm not as good at them as I am at parkour maps. And, you know, there's a whole other multitude of factors. But I think it would be fun. Oh, I was supposed to jump around that. I think it would be fun to give it a shot and just see how it goes. See if, you know, I'm big enough brain to play puzzle maps. I've mentioned in the past the problems I have with them. Stuff like, a lot of times they don't make sense. That's the problem I have with a lot of puzzle-related things, really, is just that it's less about having problem-solving skills to figure out how to get through it, and more about having the knowledge of what you do to get past them. It's like, I watch the lock-picking lawyer sometimes, right? And he can get through those locks so stinking fast, and they're kind of like a puzzle. In a way. But, like, regardless of how good your problem-solving skills are, something like that won't just immediately come to you. It's more about learning the predetermined knowledge, getting the predetermined tools, blah, blah, blah. I feel like a lot of puzzles are the same way, where it's like, you have to learn a couple puzzles. And then once you've learned a couple puzzles, you start to learn common themes in them to get through them. But if you haven't done anything like that, this is my real problem. If you haven't done anything like that, then in the past, then most puzzles are very difficult because you don't have any, you know, predetermined knowledge to go off of. And maybe it's just the fact that I've been looking at stuff like puzzles wrong in expecting a more like intelligence based deal rather than it being about what you've known in the past, because a lot of times with stuff, with pretty much anything that people pretend to be, you know, intelligence tests or like just stuff like that in general, aptitude tests, blah blah blah, a lot of them come down to pre-known knowledge. Like, anybody that's taken the ACT or the SAT knows that those tests are not really about learning how much potential you have in something, and it's a lot more about pre-known knowledge, especially with like the math and grammar segments, where it's like, yeah, it's all about how much knowledge you have in the past. I guess the one thing they do a good job on would be the reading segment, just because, well, even then, like, let's say English is your second language, then yeah, it goes back to, it's not about how much potential you have, it's just about how much knowledge you have. And actually, now that I think about it, it's the same thing with the reading stuff, where there's stuff like, oh, tell which word is closest to this one. The only reason why I do well on stuff like that is because I read so much. So as a result, I find reading sections easier. Huh. Yeah, I guess because I've done well at it, I like to think of it more as a fair intelligence test, when in all reality, much like everything else, it comes down more to wisdom than intelligence. And I think that that's probably a bit of human nature, liking to think that the ones that we excel at are the intelligence tests, and the ones that we do poorly at, it's just because, oh, they don't really test intelligence, they just test wisdom, when in all reality, pretty much all of them don't test intelligence and just test wisdom. This is starting to annoy me. I'm really struggling with this. His jump. He's giving me so much trouble. But yeah, I think it's just human nature to a degree. That it, you know, if I did well at it, then it's what we're trying to measure. If I did poorly at it, then it's this other irrelevant ordeal over here that actually has nothing to do with what we're testing. I think that makes sense. I think it's, you know, how people are to a degree. How can I get this? Because I need enough bounce to make it off the jump, but I'm really not able to get this whole momentum thing going. Maybe I stop here? And then... No, there's no way. That's 2 blocks, 2 blocks. Wouldn't be able to make that. I might end up just skipping this. I get it's probably possible, but I've been kind of rusty on parkour recently, and I don't want to get stuck up at a spot like this. Yeah, one sec, guys. Alright, kind of stinks, but I don't want to get caught up on something like that for a really long time. Slows down the video pace, blah, blah, blah. Just in general, it's a bit of an annoying jump, and I don't know. I feel like I have more loose standards the less parkour I've done recently. Like, if I haven't done a lot of parkour recently, then I'm much more willing to skip something like that. Do I have to land on that? Are you serious? Oh my goodness, that's annoying. But yeah, like, if I'm doing a lot of parkour, then I have really high standards for, like, oh yeah, I should be able to beat this. I'm gonna stinking beat this. I don't care how long it takes. And then if I haven't done a ton of parkour recently, I'm a bit more like, I'm willing to just go ahead and kind of go past this. Okay, really? Wait, are we supposed to slime glitch it? Is that what he wants us to do here? I hate the slime glitch. I'm able to do it occasionally. Honestly, I don't even remember how to do it though. It's been a while. Like, I'm able to do it occasionally, but it doesn't. I don't know. I just struggle with it. Also, it's easier with lag, and I'm obviously not lagging at all right now. I don't know if that's actually what we're supposed to do or not, but it seems likely. Maybe I'm going to be skipping another spot. This is what I hate about slime jumps. Like, with every other type of jump, it feels like it's obvious where you're supposed to go almost all the time, with a couple exceptions. And if you're in one of the exceptions, then you got to start questioning whether the map creator did a good enough job or not. Oh, wait, we can't take damage because fall damage is off. I don't think you can slime block trick it without fall damage. I'm not positive on that. I don't know. I'm probably going to just end up skipping past this again, too. As I said, don't really want to be stuck here for a long time. Okay, we're actually not going to skip this because I looked at it and realized that I'm stupid, and that's the only reason why I'm struggling with it. So, yeah, we'll be able to actually finish this. But that is one problem I have with slime jumps, is I can always so easily tell which way I'm supposed to go for other jumps, and in slime jumps sometimes I get confused. Like, I saw the ladder there, so as a result I didn't want to try to jump around that side. But I didn't notice the block's actually much closer to that side, making it the only possible way to go. So now I'm a little embarrassed on that one, but, you know, it's whatever. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's fine. I will say, I'm kind of sad that since the parkour map came out today, I don't get a record a survival video today. I guess I can still record one. I'm kind of busy, though. Like, so I don't really have time to spend multiple hours recording. Instead, just the time it's going to take to get a parkour video done. Survival videos take longer than parkour videos, for sure. But maybe I'll play a little bit on it and get a bit of off-camera work done. I don't know. I'm just feeling such a passion for survival again. And it really stinks, too, because I kind of wish what I was feeling a passion for was still parkour type videos. You know, I'd probably be going back and doing parkour maps from like 2015 at this point, but I find that that does a lot better for my channel than survival videos. Like, survival videos are just kind of outdated on YouTube just because they've been done so many times over. I like to think that since my focus on building versus like progressing in the game is a bit more like among the fewer rather than the many. Like, I feel like most survival series are more focused on, alright, let's go try to kill the Ender Dragon right away and stuff like that. And then after we kill the Ender Dragon, we can maybe build a small base, and then series over after we get an Elytra and kill the Wither and stuff. And maybe a couple auto farms. At least that's how it feels to me. But obviously, as I was kind of talking with the intelligence test thing, just in general with pretty much anything, we like to think that our route is the best way, regardless of if we have any proof behind it or anything like that. Oh, I need to go there. At least that's what I think. I think that's how people generally are. And I think it's part of why it's so hard for people to get along sometimes too. Is because instead of being willing to listen to other people's solutions, we want to go for our own, and like we get into kind of sometimes a narrow-minded space of like, well, if they believe this, then obviously that means they just want the worst for everyone, right? And it's like, no, that's typically not the case. There's plenty of times where you disagree with somebody on a fundamental level about something, and the difference in solution doesn't come from one person caring and one person, you know, hating it. Even if the solution that the one person comes up with would actually be hateful if the other person came up with it, but it's a differing in worldviews, right? Like, when somebody has, like, this is what I've experienced talking to people about more serious topics, is a lot of times when people's views differ heavily on more serious topics, it doesn't come down to one person cares and the other person doesn't, and that's why they came to different answers. A lot of times it comes down to people having fundamentally different understandings of the world around them. At least for people that are good-willed, right? A difference in opinion is more likely to come down to a fundamental difference in the way they view the world around them. And that can cause a difference in opinion on what the best way forward is. But the problem is, you get stuff where it's like, alright, if I suggested what you're suggesting under my worldview, I would be hateful and, you know, wanting nothing but the worst for, you know, this group or this situation, blah, blah, blah. But based off of my worldview, or based off of my worldview, yeah, what I want to do that would be hateful if it came from your worldview would actually makes a lot of sense. And I don't know how well I'm explaining this, but I think that is one thing we have to keep in mind sometimes. And you have to be careful, because ultimately, for a lot of things, one answer's right and one answer is wrong in the end. But I think it's important to avoid being too hateful towards people that only came to a different conclusion, even if it's the wrong conclusion, but only came to a difference in conclusion based off of the fact that in their worldview, their conclusion was the right conclusion. Once again, I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but I truly think that's kind of how these things go. I think it was here. Oh, I jumped too soon. Ah, this glass is so annoying. I wish it was kind of like the switch. Okay. I hate this kind of alternating glass deal. It's hard for me to always keep up with. Man, I jumped the perfect way, just not the correct way. But yeah. And the problem is a lot of times the differing in worldviews come down to something that, you know, in the end, one person's right about, one person's wrong about. And it might be stuff that we don't know yet, which side's right and which side's wrong. But, and, you know, for a lot of fundamental religious beliefs, it's like we won't know, you know, until... Alright, sorry about that. My sister came in for a second. Now I'm losing my train of thought. But yeah, like, I don't know, just... It's difficult because, you know, as I said, based off the differing worldviews, you know, it can be hard, and, you know, I don't know, that's just kind of how I see it. But yeah. Come on, come on. Yes, yes. Okay. Cool, cool. Okay, I need to hurry up and finish this recording. But, okay. Sorry, just, you know, stuff going on around the house. Probably a bad time to end up recording, but I had a pretty small window of time today to get the recording done. That's why I won't be able to record a survival video today too, which I'm kind of sad about. But yeah, I don't know. I also feel like that's probably a bit deeper for the most part than I prefer to go for talk on parkour videos. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I have thoughts which might belong in more philosophy styled videos, but I'm a Minecraft YouTuber at the end of the day, and I don't really have any plans to change that. And I feel like, in general, talking too much about more philosophy style things just doesn't really fit the flow of this sort of channel. As I mentioned in the past, when at least talking on Twitch, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on YouTube, but I feel like it makes sense for more entertainment styled channels to take a backseat on stuff like that. It always seems a bit like preachy when a channel that doesn't have any relation to like politics or world events or whatever starts telling their fan base what to think on world events and stuff like that, even though their channel has absolutely no relation to it and they've seen success based off of playing a game and commenting on the game. Like, it always feels just a little bit like, really? You're gonna now tell us what we should think about a world event based off of a platform that you got by making entertaining videos? It's kind of the same way I feel about a lot of, like, music artists. Like, artists that build their platform based off of music that is about world events and stuff like that. Sure, that makes perfect sense that you would, you know, say stuff about it. But for artists that build their platform off of music videos that have absolutely nothing to do with stuff like that, it always feels a bit pretentious and like, yeah, we don't really, you know. Timing for that second jump. So annoying. We don't really know anything, but we're going to tell you what you should think. I jumped way too soon that time. Or, not even that we don't know anything, but that, like, in many cases, they actually probably do have a decent idea. But that they don't... nobody subscribed to them or followed them because they were interested in their opinion on stuff like that. Oh, it was further to the right. It's pretty much a straight shot here. Well, that second jump's difficult. But yeah, nobody followed them for their opinion on world events and stuff like that. So it always comes off a bit like, why are you, you know, being so insistent that we listen to your opinion on events that nobody followed you for your opinion on? At least that's kind of how it feels to me. That's part of why I like to stay out of stuff like that for the most part, because I feel like it annoys me enough when people do it. It's kind of the same reason why I try to avoid making a big deal about asking for subs. And when I do, it's a pretty quick thing, because it's always kind of annoyed me when YouTubers make a really big deal about it. Like, I've never really minded when they just kind of mention it, but that's why I try to just kind of mention it and move on if I do ever mention it, because it always annoys me when YouTubers go on like a 5-minute rant every video about how you need to subscribe, and how if you're not subscribed, you're this or that or blah blah blah. It always just annoys me. And frankly, I find that, like, somebody just mentioning the subscribe button or whatever, like, in short, makes me more likely to subscribe just because I think about it. And that's part of why it's so necessary for YouTubers talk about it, but when a YouTuber goes on about how like, oh well, you know, subscribe, and if you're not subscribed, you're this or that or blah blah blah. It just always feels like, really? You're gonna complain about people not being subscribed to you for a long period of time to try to get them to subscribe to you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I think it's a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna have to count this, I think, which stinks. This is part of why I hate doing stuff like this on video, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Count it a little fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's wait for the next cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump to the wrong spot. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only one block over, and it's further up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't start counting until it was late, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had it, I just didn't jump. This first one I can oh, never mind. I was saying mostly run off of instinct, but I guess there goes my death. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't jump before the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, okay, we made one. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a long trek. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bit further over to the left. No, not the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is gonna be stinking painful. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to be looking at the next jump because I have to know where it's at. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, I wanted to quick jump that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one was a further jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll count it a little fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, this kind of parkour stinks so much because the only way to properly do it is to count it, right? Like going just off of, oh, I think it's now. It's too risky, and just doesn't work most of the time. But counting is just so annoying for trying to commentate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Honestly, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is probably my least favorite kind of parkour for recording. This kind of back and forth nonsense. Like, really. It's just kind of annoying. And it's horrible for recording. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I either have to do really poor on it, or I have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I keep counting too fast, which stinks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And I keep overjumping that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I underjumped that one. Ah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, that one's a longer jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm gonna call it here. Like, okay, we've gone for 40 minutes. This sort of stuff, it's just stinking annoying. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why map creators put this sort of stuff into their parkour. It's just obnoxious. I don't mind the stuff where like you have to switch back and forth between stuff you have in your hand. Or I don't even mind this stuff as much if you can see the outline for the previous block as you're going. It's just a matter of it really stinks for oh, there's a bit more. Maybe we'll at least do this. Just really stinks for having to count it and guess where you're going. I don't know. Overall, a good map. I feel like, yeah, it was just a bit overdone with the back and forth stuff. And it's cool that he put in the time to make that. I actually really appreciate it, but it's just really not my cup of tea. And I find that more than anything, it just annoys me. But yeah, go check out the map for yourself if you thought it looked interesting. Fun map to play through. Anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. God bless. Bye-bye.